Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Coach told me I can never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Hey, look, it's never miss a Monday. Wine on Saturday, wine on Sunday. But Coach told me I can never miss a Monday.
Good day. Welcome to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. I'm your host, Rick Davis. If you don't follow me on Instagram, I invite you to do so at Prime Real Estate Rick. If you're looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, residential or commercial-wise in the great state of Texas, please reach out to me directly on Instagram at Prime Real Estate Rick. It's a great day to be here. It's an honor and a pleasure to host this week's show. I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning into the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show with Coach Mike. And I want to invite everyone to get involved with tonight's show. Take your smartphone, record yourself asking Coach Mike a relevant real estate question, and send it to the Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show hotline on the number you see on the screen. Our super producer, Jay Joseph, will go through all of the questions, and you never know, your question may very well be answered on this evening's episode of Monday Night Live Real Estate Call-In Show. I would like to introduce my co-host. He is not only one of the most successful real estate brokers in the great state of Texas, but he is also the co-founder of Brooks & Davis Real Estate Firm. I want to thank him for carving some day out of his busy Monday to sit in with us. You know him as Coach Mike, but I'd like to introduce to our audience, Mr. Michael G. Davis. How you doing?
What is happening, baby? Monday Night Live. Super excited. Let's go, Rick. Let's go.
Hey, man, you know Monday Night Live is great to always co-host this show with you, but today is one of those special holiday Mondays. And with our audience, we always try to stay on the cusp and on the edge and on the absolute front of what's going on in and around the great state of Texas, the city of Houston, and everything as far as the real estate sphere. Coach Mike, for those people in our audience who may not reside in the state of Texas or live in the city of Houston, could you give them an idea of what today represents and why this is an especially special holiday Monday on the show?
Hey, Rick, look, it used to be just a Texas holiday, buddy, but it's a federally recognized holiday.
Yes.
Juneteenth. Now, as a resident of the great state of Texas, I did feel some kind of way about it. I'm like, how you just going to take our holiday? You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's warranted. For those that don't know, today is the day that commemorates when, as Black Americans, were afforded. All right, we were given our freedom from being slaves, and we were afforded citizenship into these United States, according to the 14th Amendment. According to a brother by the name of Gordon coming to the big city of Galveston and reading the Emancipation Proclamation that was written 2 years previously. So today commemorates or marks the day, or yesterday, we're celebrating it today, marks the day that the last slaves were told that they were free and that they were now citizens of this United States. And as citizens, right, yes, we're real estate professionals, right? We transact in the buying and the selling of land, ultimately the buying and the selling of owning this great country that we live in. And as citizens, we have a right. And not just a right, Rick, but a duty to own a piece of the country that we are citizens of. So, Black Americans, let us exercise our right that was afforded to us today or yesterday, however you're looking at it. Let's exercise and accept our right and our duty to own a piece of this country. Let's buy some real estate, baby. Let's do it.
You know, it's so interesting, and I appreciate you for sharing that perspective, because as citizens of the United States, I don't think all Americans, especially those in the African-American sector, understand that by purchasing real estate, you are buying a piece of the country in which you were born, and you are not only investing in your future, but you're also investing in the future of this country. So I urge everyone, add that to some of the messaging when you're going out meeting those first-time buyers or those potential first-time buyers, because you never know how many people that particular message may resonate with. So, Coach Mike, thank you so much for sharing.
Hey, man, my pleasure, brother. My pleasure. It is a right, Rick. Let's do it. Let's
Absolutely.
exercise our right.
You know, man, we have a lot of really great real estate practitioners here in the city of Houston, a lot of great real estate professionals that work with us at Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm. And they've done such an outstanding job of being able to provide us with great questions, great comments, and great things for us to lob back and forth, to give our opinions on, and to be able to share some of your expertise and experience with the audience. And today's questions, Coach Mike, I think follow along that same line. So if you're ready, I want to go to the text line for question number 1.
Hey, man, let's do it. I'm ready to go. And also those, Rick, that are watching us, let them know, man, they can go ahead and reach out to us in the comments, right? It may be an opportunity for us to engage based off of their questions too.
Absolutely. Coach Mike, question number 1. Can the title company be held responsible for fees associated with their negligence?
Look at that. Can the title company be held responsible for fees associated with their negligence? Well, look, the easy answer is, of course, they can be held responsible. The harder question is, who's going to hold them responsible? Right. What it sounds like they're asking, Rick, is that if the title company makes a mistake, if the title company makes the mistake, then they're responsible for any fees associated with the mistake that was made. And what it sounds like, that's what the question is. Mm-hmm. And just to be very, very careful with how we approach these kind of questions, especially from our clients, mm-hmm. we can't get into that realm of practicing law. Right. So we got to, as real estate professionals, we got to get real comfortable with that phrase. I advise you to speak to an attorney. We got to get real comfortable with that phrase. So as to not practice law, for which we cannot do because we're not lawyers. We don't have law degrees. Mm-hmm. So that right there is one of those situations where if through the transaction and through the title company and the actions or the activities of the title company that may create some level of negligence, the correct answer is that an attorney got to answer that question. Because think about it, Rick, it's got to be case by case, right? No two situations are the same. So you need more context as it relates to the negligence and the responsibility. And that's above our threshold of what people hire us to do. Right. They don't hire us to deal with these kind of situations as real estate professionals. That's not what we're hired or transacted to do. So to not truly be able to answer the question is one thing, but I will answer it in this way. As a real estate professional, you need to be okay saying that you can't answer that question. You need to be okay saying or recommending or offering, we need to maybe bring in an attorney to assist or to really review the circumstances and see what options that you may have as a client. Because as a realtor, as a real estate professional, we can't do that. And if we do that, then we can put ourselves in big danger. Matter of fact, we could put our clients in danger because, again, we're representing them in a lane or in a fashion that we're not well versed in. So we really should not want to do that. But for those agents out there that in many instances like to portray that they know everything because they feel like our clients expect us to know everything, which is so far from the truth. But they feel that way. Be careful when you get questions and things like this. You got to get comfortable with saying, that's outside of my peer. I don't even want to offer you any advice as it relates to it. Let's go ahead and bring in an attorney. If you don't have one, I have access to some that I could recommend you.
Absolutely. And just for some added context, all of the forms, all of the contracts, all the paperwork that we help our clients put in place as real estate professionals, if we were to try to interpret negligence or legal responsibilities, to your earlier point, at that point, we would now be practicing law. So just so that everyone is clear, the reason those forms are put into place is so that as a real estate professional, we're not forced to interpret legal responsibility and or negligence. So to Coach Mike's point, if there is ever a question of if the contracts or if people are adhering to the contracts, it'll be in everyone's best interest to bring in outside attorneys so that then they can give your client interpretations of law and legal liability.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great way to frame that.
Thank you so much, Coach Mike. I want to get to the second question we have this week. And if you're ready, Coach Mike, let's see what the second question is from the text line.
I'm always ready, Rick.
Check this one out, Coach Mike. If a veteran has land and they want to build on it, do they still start with a lender? Then where do I go to get a builder from?
Okay, so we got one of those double-decker questions
right
from the text line today. And you know what, man, the quality of questions that we get on this show, Rick, I mean, it's truly astounding. I'm so glad for our audience. It really showcases the level of expertise that our audience has and where they want to step their game up as real estate professionals and their skill set. So I really got to take the time and applaud our audience, Rick. And you can really see that with the kinds of questions that they pose to us. As it relates to the question, if a veteran has land and they want to build on it, do they still start with a lender first? I would, Rick, because Absolutely. They're going to need a construction loan, right? They're going to have to get a construction loan, and there is criterion that relates and requirements that person would have to have as it relates to that. Now, they mentioned this piece of them being a veteran. So I'm going to make some presumptions that the reason that they asked specifically about a veteran owning land is the thought process of, is there a VA construction loan? I would imagine. It's probably why they asked that. You know, to be very candid with everyone, I don't really know if there's a VA construction loan, right? I know, obviously, we know that there are VA loans as it relates to purchase resale properties or speculative homes from new home builders. But to construct, you know, a house on land that you own, and if the VA will guarantee that loan, I don't really think that there's a product out there that exists from the Veteran Affairs Department. But to their question, I would still absolutely start with a construction loan. Now, there may be some loan products out there as I talk through it, Rick, because y'all know that's my process. Like, I got to talk it.
Right.
You know, there's some lenders out here that do permanent or temporary to permanent loans or construction to permanent loans where they'll, you know, finance you the construction loan and then they'll refinance that construction loan into a permanent loan. Now, maybe that product, when they do that refinance into that permanent loan, they can refinance it as a VA loan, you know, so that may be an option out there as well. What I found lately, Rick, is that a lot of the mortgage, you know, the banks and the mortgage, we'll call them brokers, that there's a lot of creative products that the banks are putting together to, I guess, differentiate themselves from one another. So there may be a product or a program out there that'll go from construction to VA permanent that candidate could look into. But I still would definitely start with the lender first. Now, to their second question, Rick, where do they go to get a builder? I mean, look, it's a bunch of builders out here. I think the most recent study that was done by the Greater Houston Builders Association was that there's over 1,100 custom builders, or builders, we'll just say builders, whether that's production or custom, over 1,100 builders in our marketplace. So, you know, if you wanted to really start somewhere, you could start with the Greater Houston Builders Association to get you an idea of a builder and begin exploring, doing your research. Because obviously you want to do your research, explore them, you want to vet them. But I think that would be a great place to start. Would be the Greater Houston Builders Association to find you a builder.
Perfect, Coach Mike. And the reason why I've always been so proud to be a part of this particular podcast and platform is because these are the type of questions that even if you're a seasoned agent or a new agent, you're going to meet people who have recently inherited raw land, may have purchased a lot. And these are the questions that if you're in the market and you're going out and you're meeting people and you're trying to bridge the gap between what they need and a finished goal, you're going to run into this. So if you haven't run into this now, take notes, because this is something that there are so many potential clients for all real estate professionals out there in this market. And being able to reach out to a lender, be able to connect them with someone who can do a construction loan is invaluable. So thanks again, Coach Mike, because it was a two-pronged question, but it is something that I think so many real estate professionals either have in the back of their mind or have actually had experience dealing with. So appreciate you so much for lending that expertise.
No, absolutely, Rick. And I'm gonna jump in there again, because even through that question, as real estate professionals, we have to be looking for opportunities to differentiate ourselves as well. And even with that question, there are markets that you can latch yourself onto and become well versed in as a way to differentiate yourself, like working with veterans, yes, and working with builders, right? Those are two markets that you can become well versed in, clientele that you can become very skilled in as it relates to serving them, that could really help you differentiate yourself as a real estate professional. And we should be looking for those opportunities in the marketplace.
And for those in the city of Houston, I don't want you guys to undervalue the resource that the Greater Houston Builders Association is. And Coach Mike, I appreciate you for bringing them up specifically, because as real estate pros in the Greater Houston area, it can be so much that goes into getting your real estate practice off the ground that sometimes a resource like the GHBA can just totally be something that most people underuse because they just feel like it's just there. So that is why the Greater Houston Builder Association is there, is to help real estate professionals and connect them with reputable builders to help get these type of dreams accomplished.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Man, once again, Coach Mike, appreciate you so much, man. We have another question, and the first two questions, have been just totally outstanding. But this third question, I think, just gets to the heart of what a lot of real estate professionals deal with on a day in, day out basis. So, Coach, without any further ado, let's check out question number 3.
Let's do it.
Coach Mike, during the contingency period, is there a form stating if a better offer comes in while a house is in the pending or continue to show status, the seller has the option to accept and terminate the existing agreement?
Oh man, is there a form? I mean, look, they getting heavier and heavier for us, Rick, man. They're getting heavier and heavier for us. All right. So again, being in this business, over 18 years, my current knowledge is that there is not a form or an addenda that allows that. Once you accept a contract, right? It's a legally binding document. That contract, and then if you're attaching a contingency period to that contract, and as a seller you accept that contract from that buyer, then you've agreed to the terms of, that buyer. You're giving that buyer the ability and, a certain amount of time frame to sell their house first, and then move forward with the execution of purchasing your house. Like, you're agreeing to that. I don't, between the Texas Real Estate Commission, who makes some of our forms, and then through the Texas Association of Realtors, or I will say National Association of Realtors, well, Texas Association of Realtors, who also makes some of the forms that real estate professionals use. My knowledge between those two organizations and the forms that they create, that there's not an addendum or a form that stipulates the seller having the ability to accept a better offer if they're in that contingency period. Now, if the seller wants to frame it that way, though, there are options. Like, there's not a promulgated form, right? And for y'all that don't know what promulgated, all that means is a form that was created by either TREC or the Texas Association of Realtors. There's not a promulgated form, but the seller could always hire an attorney, and they could use those promulgated forms and insert that verbiage. And then at that point, they would have a form that speaks to that, or ask that attorney to create an addendum. Okay. So, there's an option there. What they better not do, though, as a real estate professional, is try to put that verbiage in there. Try to put that verbiage and special provisions as a realtor. You cannot do that, because right. if you do that, then that's you creating the form, and it's viewed as you practicing law.
To go back to your earlier point from the earlier question.
To go back to my earlier question. Here's another example that it can be viewed as you practicing law. And again, we're real estate professionals. It's a reason that our forms are created for us, and that we don't create the forms that we use in the marketplace, because we're not attorneys. We're not versed in that, in the liability, like you said, the responsibilities as it relates to contracts and things like that. Like, that's not our peer view as being licensed real estate professionals. So you cannot get caught up into that, to where you're inserting statements and clauses and things into the documents that are promulgated for us. So you got to be careful. There is that opportunity for them to hire an attorney and adjust the documents to where they have the verbiage that a particular seller may want to have, such as what was posed here today.
And I just want to add, Coach Mike, as real estate professionals, regardless if we're representing buyers or sellers, there are certain professional norms that throughout the real estate industry we expect from each other as professionals. And of course, we all would like to serve our clients to the best of our ability, but it is not any real estate professional's responsibility to do things outside their legal framework, their legal expertise, or to practice law. And right. You'll be surprised, Coach Mike, and I'm sure you can speak to this with your experience, that there are going to be real estate professionals, if you work in a certain area for a certain amount of time, you're going to do deals with 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 times. Mm-hmm. And once you have a reputation as an unscrupulous real estate professional and or realtor and or agent, it's hard to get the reputation back, especially in the real estate community, as tight-knit as it can be in greater Houston or the state of Texas as a whole.
Absolutely. It's a very small world, especially in our space, very small world. So your reputation has to be gold, and you got to protect it at all costs. So no, that's a great point that you bring up, Rick.
And Coach Mike, these type of philosophical questions that agents have, these are the type of things that you talk about a lot during some of your question and answer, some of your trainings that you host and provide publicly on Brooks and Davis television. So could you share with our audience as far as what you have planned this week, what type of events or educational training activities you'll be hosting or will be hosted by Brooks and Davis this week?
Yeah, absolutely, Rick. I am super excited. I mean, because we have a jam-packed week this week. Jam-packed week. Got some great events that are happening. To start with BND TV, we're very proud of our BND TV weekly lineup of shows, our digital content, for which Monday Night Live always starts our week off. Yes. Tomorrow we're going to be interviewing Miss Catherine Jones-Hunter. She's with U.S. Bank. We do that at 12:30. Again, we go live on Facebook page as well as YouTube, and they're recorded. So you can always go back to our YouTube channel and see our Real to Life podcast. But to take part in the live interview, it's tomorrow at 12:30. And she's a real estate professional as well as a credit literacy advocate. Right. So she's going to be really speaking about some of those creative programs that I talked about earlier to help more people, right? Black people, because, a lot of the creativity is really in that space. Help more Black people get in a home. So you're going to love that conversation that she and I have on tomorrow at 12:30. We're also shooting our Mastermind Through Tough Times Again, real estate professionals talking about randomness.
Mhm.
It's a very lighthearted show with myself, my co-host, Margaret, aka Mystique, and our super producer, Jay Joseph, as well. So tomorrow's randomness, we're going to be talking about dads get wig installs and liposuction for Father's Day. Oh man, well look, where do they come up with these things?
Right.
But look, we have a fun time, so make sure you guys show up tomorrow at 2:30. We're gonna go live on Facebook and YouTube as well. And then Wednesday, for my real estate professionals, you have to be a licensed agent to attend this event. But we're bringing in one of our partners, Mr. Keith Webster. We love having Keith here in the Houston area. He's out of Atlanta. He's creating a nationwide brokerage to be able to do loans in all 50 states, nationwide, literally. But he's coming in on Wednesday at 12 at Maggiano's near the Galleria. And I mean, he's going to be really showcasing a lot of these programs that are accessible. One of them that really stands out is that him and his team, and the name of his company is Apex Mortgage. Him and his team, they have a loan product that goes down to 500 credit scores. Right. I mean, that's mind-boggling that there's a program that goes. Just imagine how many more people that you'll be able to help as a real estate professional if you have that in your pocket, a program that goes down to 500 credit scores. He also talks about how fast his team is able to push loans through. He says that their closings usually take within 14 and 20 days, Rick. 14 and 20 days. I remember one time he called me and literally, I mean, I cannot make this stuff up, Rick. Keith and his team were able to get a loan done from contract to close in 7 days, Rick. They had to clear the close. I can't make it up.
Right.
So this is the kind of this is the kind of person you want to come hear from. And you're going to get you some lunch, right? Get you a little bit of lunch. So that's this Wednesday, but you got to be licensed. You don't just have to be a Brooks and Davis agent. You got to be licensed and you got to RSVP. So make sure for anything that we talk about, you go to our events page at www.brooksanddavis.com so you can reserve your spot because you have to register for this event.
Absolutely.
And then on Saturday, because we have Keith in town, remember we're flying him in from Atlanta. Because we have him in town, we're actually going to be doing a financial literacy workshop on Saturday. And this is going to replace our pre-home buyer session. You know, we do our pre-home buyer session every month. All right. This is going to replace that because we're going to be talking about, you know, the things that we speak about in our pre-home buyer session. You know, we're going to be talking about clients, you know, allowing them the ability to that are inquiring about the buying process. We're going to be talking about, you know, credit. We're going to be talking about, you know, as well as in inspiring people to move forward with their aspirations of not just buying a house, Rick, but getting their financial house in order.
Right.
So he's going to touch upon all of those aspects. It's going to be Saturday at 11 o'clock at our central office, our central coaching and training center by NRG. Again, this is really for the consumer base, right? We want to get, if you know, any of you all out there that are watching this and you're thinking about buying a house and maybe you don't know if you qualify, right? Or maybe you've been told that you don't qualify. Come. It doesn't matter, right? Even if you felt like you know the answers, it's always better to get a second opinion than to just rely on what you think you know. Right. Especially if you've never done this before. So I highly encourage everybody, come out on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Listen to Keith. He's just like me. He's one of those he's one of those professionals that's been in this business over 20 years. In his case, close to 30 years, Keith's been in this business. We have marketing going out where Keith is speaking about what he's going to be talking about in detail. So we do have videos that we can send to people so they can get more information about both events and really hear from the expert's mouth why it's critical that they take part in next week. Us having Keith down here on that Wednesday event and that Saturday event, one geared towards agents, one geared towards the consumer. And we need to the information is so valuable, Rick. We need to have the rooms packed.
Yes.
Right? We got to get as many people in the room as possible because we really want to help as many people as we can. And we know that Keith is a great resource and a great weapon to help as many people. So get the word out, get as many of your clients there. You guys come, let's have the room, standing room only.
Absolutely, Coach Mike. It's a godsend that someone can come into the city of Houston and share this type of information, because there are so many people in the greater Houston community and the state of Texas as a whole who are right on that borderline of qualification, who may have been told they need to wait or that they just do not qualify. And that time, and you've talked about this on many episodes in the past, the time that you wait from today, if it's 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, can cost you so much money over time that we want to get everyone who wants to buy and close, purchase, and moved into their new homes as soon as possible. And this fine gentleman and his organization is making that dream come true for so many families. So everyone, real estate professionals, Brooks and Davis real estate family, let's get the word out. This Saturday is the day for everyone that you know in your pipeline who wants to own a home to learn how they can make that happen in the year 2022. So let's go to the Brooks and Davis event page. Let's RSVP. Let's get the word out, man. Let's ring the alarm, because this is a very, very, very important week.
It's a very important week, Rick. It's a very important week. And, you know, there may be opportunities for clients that you sold a house to, and they should refinance, right? They should refinance. They may have equity as fast as these houses are appreciated. There may be some credit, home equity lines of credit that they may want to create and be able to access some of their home equity to be able to use financially to enhance their wealth situation. So there's opportunities to go back to your past and current clients and offer them greater level of service as well with them coming to this event, because Keith and his team can help with those products and those opportunities as well. So really, Rick, it's we want to help people grow their financial literacy, grow their financial situation, right? Put them in an opportunity where maybe that there are some opportunities to enhance their wealth. Well, this event on Saturday is another opportunity for us to help change the world. So let's be world changers, Rick.
Hey, man, Coach Mike, the things that are put into place by Brooks and Davis real estate firm, I hope that everyone in the greater Houston area has the opportunity to take advantage. There are very few real estate brokerages who invest so much in educating the community to inspire and motivate that next generation of real estate pros or the current generation of real estate professionals to get out there, be a part of what's going on in your area on a daily basis. So, Coach Mike, before we sign off this week, are there any final words of motivation, inspiration that you have for our audience to get them through this week and edify and satisfy them until next Monday around the same time?
Absolutely. Look, I'm gonna start saying this, and it's so simple, but I feel like it's so profound. So we need to be constantly reminded of it. As real estate professionals, right? As real estate, if you're going to call yourself a real estate professional, right? Well, real estate professionals do real estate activities every day.
Every day.
If you're not doing real estate activities every day, it's not a bad thing. It's cool, but stop calling yourself a real estate professional. Don't do it, because real estate professionals do real estate activities every day. Right.
Every day.
So that's what I want to leave them with, Rick.
Absolutely, man. That's a great message. On behalf of myself, Rick Davis, and Coach Mike, Mr. Michael G. Davis, I want to thank everyone in the audience for tuning in. If you need anything in the meantime, in between time, you can reach out to either one of us via text, email, direct message, or calling the Brooks and Davis Real Estate Firm office. So until next week, everyone in our audience, please be safe and be blessed.